Sup, man? How's it going? So today we're gonna talk about the day where I tried to kill myself. So you might be like, "Oh, why is this guy smiling?" It's like, "Fuck you." It's my suicide story, and I'm alive, so fuck you. I can smile, right? So I was 19 years old. I was in university, and I was just really low status and depressed, man. My life was going nowhere, and I was kind of working out. I was trying to get into exercising, whatever. Just had a shit body, man. I used to be obese, and then I lost weight, and I look like this. Like, come on. Spent years in the gym. I look like a fucking, like, look at that body. It's disgusting, right? I was trying to be like a skinny, he's one of those skinny guys. I just had gyno, my tits sagged. Like, imagine being a 90-year-old man and being cursed with like man boobs, saggy tits. Like, my nipples literally were out of alignment. How fucked up is that? That made me super depressed, and I worked out, but my body just looked like absolute dog shit. So I was broke. I had no money as well. I was just stuck in my uni room with no money, no nothing, no friends. No one cared about me. My uni lessons were fucked anyway. I barely graduated. So I'd just hop on Discord and like maybe chat with losers about how fucking bad and unfair life is and all that stuff. And all I did was I just played video games. I played TF2, and I played Doom as well. Doom was a good game, to be honest. But yeah, I just played TF2, and I was basically chasing a girl during this time. I just text her, and it got so bad that like I'd text her and I'd just literally lay in bed. I don't know what I did. I probably like scrolled or like masturbated or something and waited for a response back. Like, I was literally bedbound for a whole week during this time. I was just laying in the bed and I just wait for her to text. I'll wake up, oh, she hasn't texted, stay in bed. Like, that's all I did. I didn't even leave my bed. That's how bad it got. And I also had insomnia during this time. And I had insomnia for a long while, like for years. But I was just waking up at 6 p.m. Imagine how bad that is. Like, I go to bed at like 7 a.m. And it's like, what? It's literally like 6 a.m. right now. I've just done this summary. And now I'm like recording this video, and I didn't even go to bed. Like, that's how bad it got. I woke up at like 4 a.m. today. So anyway, don't want to brag, but just talking about how bad it got, right? Waking up, like going to bed at 7 a.m. It's fucking bad, right? We all know it's bad. And during this time I was in London. I was in the UK. And if you know anything about UK weather, the sun doesn't exist in the UK, especially in the winter, which it was winter during this time. So I didn't even see the sun for a whole month. Like, I couldn't even do grocery shopping because I wake up at 6 and the stores close at like 6. I mean, during the weekends, like Sainsbury closed at 6. That's how bad it got. I just couldn't even like go to shops and stores because I was out of alignment with everything. And I had bad genetics as well, so I just felt ugly and hopeless. Like, if you look at my face, that's not a handsome face, right? In fact, like, I was born without a chin. Like, this is literally plastic here, bro. It's not real. I'm like a Kardashian, right? So I just had really shit genetics. I had gyno, and I felt ugly. And one second. And plus, so I was like an immigrant in the UK as well. So I'm Turkish. I was just there to study. So I just was like, I had no respect, no nothing, no money, no friends. I'm just completely alone. And again, as I said, insomnia. This girl rejected me. Everything was on me, man. And I don't know why I took that picture, but I was crying one day. I was like, you know what? I think that's it. I was thinking of ending it for a long time, and I was like, okay, no, I think it's over, man. I think it's game over. And online, these fucking message boards, they tell you it's over, you should end yourself, and I took that seriously. So I was like, okay, and I was texting this girl. I think she was ignoring me or she wasn't responding well. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna end it. I think that's it, man. So I went to the train tracks, and the train was going two ways. It could either go left or it could go right. I didn't know which way the train was gonna take. Now, this was late at night, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'll take the gamble, man. I'll either, I just sat on one of the tracks and I waited, and I was like, okay, maybe this is it. The train comes by. I'm scared. But I was like, don't be a pussy, man. Fucking accomplish something for the first time in your life, you know? Maybe just stand your ground. I don't know, some bullshit. And, well, the train went the other way, and I'm here. So, yeah. And you know what, man? Like, I was like, I lived. I was like, holy fuck, I'm alive. And from that day, I don't know. I was like, maybe I don't want to die anymore. I want to, if I'm gonna live, I might as well live as the best version of myself. That's what I said, because I tried to like end myself a couple times. It was like I tried to overdose once as well, but that's a story for another time. And I wish I could give the kid that's like this kid the things I'm gonna teach him right now. I wish this kid had the book that I had right now, because if only I had this mindset, I wouldn't be there. I would never like be this low. So this intro has been a bit long, but I want to talk about the book that I genuinely think it would have saved my life. Right, the mindset. It's called The Obstacle is the Way. You can read the book if you want, but I'm doing a whole summary of it because, let's be honest, this fucking kid ain't reading this book, right? It's like, fuck you. He doesn't even have the attention span to read a fucking book, right? It's called The Obstacle is the Way, and I'm going to summarize the whole thing. I literally read it 2 days ago. I was like, oh, that'll be cool. I'll make a YouTube video about it. It's basically a mindset shift, man. We need to like, you need to rewire your mind, just change how you look at things, because oftentimes the problems and obstacles in your life will be your gift, right? And if you are down right now, you feel hopeless in life, and you're like kind of cynical, oh, how was a YouTube video gonna save my life? How was a book gonna save my life or anything? Just you know, just watch it, man. Just don't be cynical. I'm telling you, like, this kid would have, like, I wish I had this book, right? I mean, look at him. He's fucking crying. Yeah, I'm late. I'm gonna summarize the book. There's no, like, fucking Amazon links. Fucking just get the book. I don't give a fuck. If you want to give me money, like, well, I do fitness coaching, so that's the only way you can give me money. I don't care. I'm not like doing affiliate Amazon marketing. Fuck that shit. I'm not one of those retard YouTubers. So yeah, feel free to listen to this as a podcast or like when you're doing stuff in the background, whatever. You can come back to this video later. But yeah, I'm gonna summarize the whole book, give my insights from it. Let's get to it. So, no matter, I'm trying to place my face. I think that's good. Okay. So no matter how bad it is, know that there will always be a way out. And this video will prove it to you. Because no matter how bad the situation is, you can overcome it, right? What if we could rewire your mind so that you had the mindset of a winner, a champion, a successful man? And this will work even if you've always been a failure in life, even if you've never achieved anything in life, or everything in your life has gone wrong, no matter how bad a hand you've been dealt. Because understand that every person you look up to, they faced obstacles, injustices, unfair treatment, problems just like you did, and probably worse than you, because the successful people, the winners of life, they're not that different from you and I. They're not different, right? We're not different from them. They're just like us, but they had a different mindset, right? And you might be like, oh, but these winners in life, they were gifted. No. Yeah, maybe they were gifted in certain areas. I'm not going to deny that, right? Fucking Usain Bolt was probably gifted at sprinting. And if you look at the, like, best sprinters on earth, they've always come from a certain area in Jamaica, right? But fair enough. But, like, they still had the mindset, right? When you walk around, you go outside, you always go past gifted people. These people aren't even aware of their potential. What if you were gifted in an area, but you didn't even know it? You know? How come you know? You don't know it, right? And, like, we all are gifted and ungifted in certain areas. It's the actions we do that carry us to the top, right? It's not like, imagine if even if you're the most gifted person on earth, if you never do anything with your life, if you never put action, you're not going to go anywhere, right? And sometimes you must develop your gifts, Leonardo da Vinci, for example, he spent like thousands of hours on his gift. His gift was his intellect and whatnot. I'm yapping too much, but let's move on, right? Life may not have given you a good hand, acknowledge that. But what if this was a great thing? Because understand, oh yeah, we all talked about that. So, when faced with an issue, most people are paralyzed, right? And, one second. I got this Oreo mug. You like my Oreo mug? I haven't had an Oreo in like months, but it's a nice mug. You know, Oreo makes great mugs. So the main problem is that when faced with an issue, most people are paralyzed, and the roadblocks we face, they're clear, right? Maybe they're systemic, they're decaying institutions, maybe rise in unemployment, maybe in your country, people don't get employed, skyrocketing cost of education, and like technological disruption. Maybe you may be like, oh, inflation is the reason I'm unsuccessful, or like, oh, you know, I didn't get placed here, that's why I'm unsuccessful, blah blah blah, or like, oh, I'm too short, I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm too scared, I'm too poor, I'm too stressed, I don't have access, I don't have confidence, no one's backing me, my dad isn't rich, whatever. Like, you know exactly what's holding you back, and you wish, like, only if this was different, man. If only you have X, or, you know, if only you didn't have X. It's just, if life was different, if this was different, I'd be where I want to be, but because of X, I'm not there. And you just feel like because of this thing, you're being held down and trapped. You know, most people hate their jobs, their relationships, their place in the world. They have something blocking them, and they do nothing, man. They just, oh, they're faced with an issue and they're just paralyzed. They do nothing. But not us. Not my followers. Not you. Not me. We're not like most people. If you found this channel, this is a really small channel, man. No more. You can't do nothing anymore because we're not like them. We're not the most people. We're the employers of life. We're the masters of life. We're the people who basically, like, we're the top 1% of the people who run this fucking world, you know? So we're not like most people, I want to tell you that. But these people, these other people, they blame their bosses, they blame the economy, they blame their family, him, her, politics. What the fuck? I don't know what I wrote that, but him, her, politics. I think gender politics. I don't know. You might think that you're a failure and right now success is impossible, but the real fault actually comes from you and your attitude. Because some people rise above these obstacles, don't they? Because you see people getting ahead, you see people achieving the exact goals that you want every day, no matter where they come from. And not everyone is held down by the same troubles you have. You might see people just being from the same place as you, having the same genetic setbacks as you, but they overcome it. They're not held back by these same troubles, are they? But what's their secret? How come some people are so gifted, driven, and disciplined, but not you? What's the secret, man? Oh, we'll get into it in the book. Sorry, I'm like drinking too much water. I need to refill again. I don't know, it's really early and I need water. Some people, right, are destroyed by crisis. Some survive it. Some thrive on it. Some get better, man. Because the truth is that there is post-traumatic stress disorder, but also there's like post-traumatic stress improvement, where you take your trauma and you become better because of it. Because without the abuse on you, without that trauma on you, you would not become the battle-tested champion that you are, that you could be, right? If you wish God to be stronger, if you wish God to be a fucking man, like be the fucking man, like be, I don't, just like be a fucking Chad in your ways and whatnot. God would give you troubles, wouldn't it? Wouldn't he? God, I don't care if you believe in a God or whatnot, but God would send down challenges on you, and because he knew you could overcome it, God would be like, okay, this motherfucker needs to be stronger, so I'm gonna send obstacles throughout his way. So why not turn you into the motherfucker that gets even better when bad things come his way? When you like see obstacles, you're like, whatever. Yeah, I've seen worse. I've overcome it. Right? What if you treated things in your way like fuel to your fire? Because the obstacle in the path is the path. Never forget, within every obstacle is an opportunity to improve yourself because your struggle is the answer. You might think that thing is holding you back, but most likely that is the answer. That is how you will accomplish the thing. Don't ignore the obstacle because it is the way, you know. The obstacle might be physical, size, race, distance, disability, money. It might be mental, fear, uncertainty, inexperience, prejudice, you're not confident enough. Perhaps people don't take you seriously, or you think you're too young, or you lack support or enough resources. Maybe laws or regulations restrict your options or your obligations to, or false goals and self-doubt. You can overcome it. You know, people before you, they're literally athletes that were too small or too fat, pilots with bad eyesights, immigrants, bastards, dropout, dyslexics. Some gave up, some didn't. Some seized the obstacle and became twice as good, so why not you? Why shouldn't you rise above the challenges that are thrown your way? Why shouldn't you? What's like honestly, it's not impossible to overcome the stuff that you've been given with, right? Let's be honest. You're like, oh no, it's impossible because this, that. But like, it's not impossible, is it? I don't believe it's impossible, and you don't like something in the back of your head. You know, I was like, all right, maybe I could overcome it, but maybe I don't want to. Maybe you enjoy it. Maybe you actually like being the victim, right? But all great victories in politics, business, art, or seduction, it involved resolving problems with creativity, focus, and daring. When you have a goal, obstacles are actually teaching you how to get where you want to go. It's carving your path. The things heard, Benjamin Franklin wrote, instruct. So stop seeing your failure as a bad thing. It's just a report card trying to teach you something. When you fail at a certain thing, you should look at it like, oh, that's where I failed. That's where I fell short. Okay, I'll be better. Thank you for teaching me this. Because in life, you don't get a report card, right? In life, you don't get like in like a video game statistics points. But in failure, you actually learn exactly where you fell short. So the next time you improve on it and you get better. Think of your biggest obstacle. What if we could overcome it? And there will be 3 steps to overcoming an obstacle. There's perception, there's action, and then there is will. Events just are. You put a meaning to it. How you see things can be a source of strength or weakness. For example, I used to be obese, right? That was fucking bad. I was 16 years old. I weighed like 270 pounds. That was fucking horrible. And I had gyno as well. Like, you've seen my story before, right? The only reason you're watching this video right now is because I tried to kill myself, and now you're interested in me and my story, right? And I used to be obese as well. That's me. That's a picture of me sleeping in a tent. That's how poor I was. But now, think about it. This is a good thing because I'm a YouTuber, right? You're literally invested in my story because, like, how did this motherfucker go from the worst position ever to here? You're now curious. You're now listening. Now this is future money for me. This is gold. Do you understand? This is gold. So I used to be broke. I literally lived in a crack house, which, you know what? I'll show you the video of it. So if you go on YouTube, so if you go on Second Tuna, that's like my second channel. I'll show you the video of me in the crack house. People don't fucking believe me. It's like, I'll mute the video, but like, this is where I used to live. Literal fucking crack house, fat as fuck. Like, this is where I came from, bro. Like, literal crack house. If we didn't even have electricity. And like, this video kinda got, I don't want to say viral, it's only 2,000 views, but like, me eating McDonald's in a crack house while watching Alpha Male podcast, right? That's how fucking shit it was. But when I was in there, so I was in the UK, I didn't have a work permit because I said I was a student. I looked into working, making money online, and I discovered video editing from it. And because of video editing, I paid for my gynecomastia surgery. I gave myself a good life. I invested in courses, and like teachers and mentors. With that money, I'll move to Thailand. I'll actually show you the video of me in Thailand as well. So I moved to Thailand. I moved to a villa. I literally like moved to a villa, and it was all because of hard work. I discovered a way to. Let me find the video. Where's the video? I found a way to make money online, and I made like over 50 grand with this one skill. And I would have never learned this skill if I just never became homeless or never lived in a crack house. Is the video there? I think I think it's on. Sorry, I have like so many channels. Let me find the villa I lived in. I had like my own bike. Where's the Tuna Doom shitpost? There we go. That's the channel. Thailand. Yeah, there we go. That's the villa. Like I lived here, bro. Like this was my home. Look at how fucking big and like massive it is. And I had a motorbike as well. I was making money online. Like, why is that Einstein's face? Doesn't even show the house. Oh yeah, it does. This video is a bit dragging out, but hopefully you can enjoy the long lasting. Yeah, I lived here, man. Fucking 2-story building, pretty sick, right? And now I have two people paying me to mentor them, $100 per month. I'm literally getting paid to just say stuff to people. How cool is that, right? So no matter where you start from, you can turn it into an advantage. And let's say perception, you can change your perception, man. Let's say, oh, I can't get girls. Reframe it, man. If you can get girls, that's actually awesome. That's actually great. Because the guys that get girls, they're distracted, right? They think they're Chaz. They got it all going, man. Their life is amazing. Because if you want a man to just fall off, just give him a good woman, fucking get his dick sucked every day, he'll stop working hard, right? Imagine this. You have an opportunity to become better. You can literally lock yourself in a room for years on end or months on end and work on yourself relentlessly. If you're not getting girls, cool. Go to the gym. Build an amazing physique. Cool. Work on your business. Maybe like it takes you 3 years, 5 years. You'll emerge as like a rich man with a fucking 10 out of 10 body. What fucking girl's gonna reject a rich man with like 10 out of 10 body? Now, obviously girls have choices, but like, come on. You'll destroy the high school jocks or whatever the fuck, because they'll think, oh, I'm getting girls, drink beers, get fat, life's over. But after 25, you take over. Until like 70, you're a wealthy man in amazing shape. Or maybe you like, I don't want to say game, I don't like that term, but you kind of are shit with social dynamics, autistic as people would call it. You fucking read books about social dynamics, read books about like how women think or feel. Just learn about them, and you'll actually be the better. I don't want to say the word seducer, but you'll learn about women, how to interact, how to do cold approaches. Like, yeah, you might not be able to get girls, and because of that, maybe you start doing cold approaching and you get rejected a lot. But then you get used to getting rejected by women. You start getting like your heart beats that stops going up. You're like, oh, I see this beautiful woman. I'm gonna approach because I've approached a billion times before. I got rejected, but sometimes I got their number. I'm cool. You go over there. And blah blah blah. All that thing wouldn't happen if you in the start, and plus you had the good body and the money as well, right? And if that thing would have never happened if you couldn't get girls from the start. If you were just a popular guy getting girls all the time, then you wouldn't need to work on yourself. But now, yeah, maybe you didn't get girls at the start. 5 years down the line, you have the money, you have the body, you have the respect. You're better at social skills than anyone you know because that fucking high school guy never actually doesn't even know how to read, right? So you run the world now. You're like a billion times better than the guy, while that guy just turned out to be average. He relied too heavily on genetics and good looks. He fell off. Boom, you run the game. All the women are yours. And then people say like, oh, you're just picking up women from cock carousal or what the fuck, fucking incels. But like, no, because when you're 25, you can still date 18-year-old girls. I mean, that's too much, but like, you can date 20-year-old girls. It's not like that, right? When you're fucking 30, I guess, like, you can date 23-year-olds. It's like, what's the fucking issue? Girls are always there. You're not missing out on anything, right? Or maybe you're too fat. Cool. That's an opportunity to build a great physique. Oh, you're too broke. You can't hold down a job. That's God's sign. That's the world's sign to you that you must be a businessman. You must get rich. I cannot hold down a job. I hate working for other people. Cool. I'm a future millionaire. Whatever, right? Oh, how blessed young men are who have to struggle for a foundation and beginning in life. As I said, if you ask God to be a strong man, He would throw you challenges. He'd give you problems to solve. Understand that every challenge is a blessing because it is exactly how you become that guy, right? Let's say in generation stuff, I used to be jealous of rich kids, right? But rich kids usually end their generational wealth. They don't know how to work hard. They don't know how to make money. Or, they don't understand money, man. Maybe their daddy gets them a job. They fucking work in finance, fucking whatever. These fucking white people shit. You know what I'm talking about, right? But imagine you're a self-made man. You have the respect of everyone. You're good with money. You're the fucking man. You have the mind with it, man. You have a better personality. You will destroy the rich kids in all areas of life. Yeah, you had to work hard and whatnot, but come on. Right? You don't want to be a rich kid, right? Stress. So, this is not in the book, but it's a little tangent. Oh man, I'm talking so much. I'm too thirsty. You know what I'm gonna do? So I'm gonna finish recording this video, and it's gonna be like 7 a.m. I'm gonna go to the gym, and it'll be a good day for me. I'm really happy for myself. So, lions don't chase us anymore, right? So, stress. The thing is, when you think about the money ending in your back, no more, you don't have any money, or you're scared of, anxious of talking to someone, you feel the same fucking stress you feel when like a lion is chasing you. Think about it. How fucking weird is that if a lion was chasing you, you'd feel the same amount of stress as like you trying to confront a boss, or you just anxious about something, right? That's the same feeling. Think about it. The person that gets happy, let's say you found a fucking $20 in your pocket, that's the same amount of happiness you'd feel like a rich person would feel when he makes like 10 grand or whatever the fuck. Not 10, maybe like 50 grand. I don't know, rich people money stuff. But it's the same feelings, right? But the stress response was, given to you in the caveman times so that you would have a fight or flight response, right? But when you get stressed in real life, unlike the lion scenario, you can't fight your boss or you can't run away from the workplace. So that stress gets pent up in you, man. You have all these feelings with no outlets for it, right? So when you get all these stress feelings, your body and mind will get out of sync. You focus on the negative things because you are primed to do so, to survive lions, right? In nature, if you didn't focus on negative things, you would simply die. But the truth is that you're not going to die tomorrow in the modern world. So stress is kind of like just a fucking weird thought. You get stressed in traffic. Why? It's like, oh, I'm going to be late to work. I might get fired. Yeah, but it's not. Why do you feel the same shit that you would feel when a lion is trying to kill you? It's weird, right? And here's the thing. You could just get stressed with your thoughts alone. So if you just think about think about a thing that you have to do tomorrow that you didn't do yet, or think about a bill you have, something you have to pay. Instantly stress, right? Same feeling you get when a lion is chasing you. So maybe stop focusing on negatives, man, because in our world there are more positives than negatives. Literally, like we live in the safest times. There are no wars. I mean, there's still wars in the Middle East and whatnot. In fact, I'm going for military training in like 5 months. But people ain't trying to kill you, hopefully, right now, right? So just fucking, this stress is ruining you, man. Because if you choose not to be harmed, you will not feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. I don't feel stressed anymore because you have bills to pay, you can't pay it. You go homeless, cool, bro. I've already been homeless. Fuck you. I know it's not that bad. And the thing was, when I was in this tent, it was night. It rained at night. I had to stay up. How worse can it get? I mean, it can always get worse, but come on, like. Honestly, being homeless isn't that bad. Like, you just it's bad, but you get my point, man. Like, the thing is, no one can take away your power, right? Let's say you lose a job, whatever. So I'm gonna tell you about the story of Ruben Hurricane Carter, this American boxer that was wrongly imprisoned. So people accused him of triple homicide, and he went to jail. He was wrongly imprisoned, and when going to jail, he wore a nice watch. He dressed nice, put on a nice expensive suit, feeling good, looking good, and he looked at the warden and he said, I know you had nothing to do with the injustice that brought me to this jail, so I'm willing to stay here until I get out, but I will not, under any circumstances, be treated like a prisoner, because I am not, and I will never be powerless. He decided not to surrender the things he controlled, which was his attitude, beliefs, and choices. He still had freedom, even though it was in solitary confinement, right? This man went to jail, but he decided to stay a free man because he had his mind and his beliefs and his attitude. That was what was in his control. And he refused to wear a uniform. He refused to eat prison food, accept visitors, attend parole hearings, or work in the commissary to reduce his sentence. He wouldn't be touched either. No one could lay a hand on him unless they wanted to fight. Because this man, even though he was in prison, he knew he was wrongly in there. So in his mind, he was just still a free man. He refused to believe that shit, man. So you know what he did? He saw this as an opportunity to get better. He spent every waking minute reading law books, philosophy, history books. He made the best of his time by training and improving his mind. He would not only leave prison free and innocent, but he'd also come out better and wiser. And 19 years later, man, 19 fucking years, he got out and he was innocent. He just simply continued his life. He didn't pursue civil lawsuits or ask for an apology. Right? He just was like, oh, yeah, well, I was wrongly imprisoned. I improved my mind. I'm out of the prison. 19 years of mind training. I'm out. I'm a better man now. The thing is, they can throw us in jail, label us, deprive us of our possessions, but they'll never control our thoughts, our beliefs, our reactions. Which is to say, we are never completely powerless. Even in prison, deprived of nearly everything, some freedoms remain. Your mind remains your own. You're never truly imprisoned. You always have your mind. You can always do something. Let's say even if you're in like a coffin, right? People put you in a coffin and you're like stuck there. You still have control of your mind, right? You can see that as a challenge of, oh, this is my challenge to get comfortable with being alone. Just, I don't know, this is a way to strengthen my mind, right? And Nelson Mandela and Malcolm X did the same thing in prison as well. They read books, they got better. Power of perception, man. Alright, so the book is chillax, bro. Just be relaxed. What such a man needs is not courage, but nerve control, cool-headedness. This he can get only by practice. Because everyone around you is neurotic, man. Everyone's like, right? Everyone's like that. Let me get some more. Oh my god. This is a 2 liter bottle. I'm probably gonna finish it all by the end of this video. But yeah, everyone is neurotic. But a man is stoic, he is cool headed. A good man is not reactive but proactive because people will always be out to get you. You cannot let others rock your inner castle, your nerves. Let's say like someone swears at you and you get angry. That means you're weak. I don't understand the people who got angry when people like swore at them. Like, other people can control your internal state. That is fucking weakness. If I can just say some shit about your mom and you can just go off the fucking rails, that means I control you. You are weak. You cannot let others influence your inner state. People cannot keep a cool head. I don't know, people's shoes get untied. They're like, oh, my shoes untied and there's coffee on my shirt and it's raining. What the fuck is bad about rain? It's water. Are you scared of water? Are you fucking like fireman that like water drains your powers? No, it's just fucking rain. It's just bad weather. People make mountains out of molehills. People are like, oh, I'm scared. Like, fucking just relax. A mafia tried to kill me in Thailand. I was scared then. I was neurotic then. But like honestly, maybe that's not a good example, but like a mafia ain't trying to kill you, okay? So you should be fine. Honestly, you live in the first world, most likely. You're fine. Nothing bad is happening to you. And if you actually are a first world citizen, social services exist, bro. Like, chill. Nothing. It's not that bad. Right? Oh, my parents will say something bad about me. Okay. Oh, whatever. The thing is, there's always a counter move, always an escape or a way through. So there is no reason to get worked up. No one said it would be easy, and of course the stakes are high, but the path is there for those who are ready to take it. And this is what we've got to do. And we know that it's going to be tough, maybe even scary, but we are ready for that. We're collected and serious and aren't going to be frightened off. This means preparing for the realities of our situation, steadying our nerves so we can throw our best at it, right? Because when we panic, when we're neurotic, we make mistakes. For example, astronauts, the number one factor of being an astronaut, the one trait that all astronauts have is that they don't panic, right? And to not panic, astronauts practice the same liftoff scenario. So this was in like the space race between America and Russia, 150 times. These guys like just rehearse the same, like, oh, I'm gonna press this button, do this, do that 150 times. Oh, maybe this happens. They practice, and then when it comes to the liftoff, the fucking first one, what was his name? Armstrong, Louis Armstrong. No, you get what I mean. I forgot his name. It escapes me, but he just practiced the same thing 150 times, right? And then when the time was for liftoff, the guy was chill. It was like, I've already done this. And when you practice more, you get authority. You know exactly how to do things. And when you get authority, when you practice, the fear, the panics go down. So right now, you might be panicking, you might be all nervous, but the more you live life, the more you experience shit, you're going to be less neurotic. That's why older men, like when kids are like, and older men are more stoic. Older men, they're just like more calm because they've been through the shit like a billion times more than you, right? So you must train being neurotic and scared. Not scared, out of your mind. Let's say diet example. Things aren't as bad, right? So diet example, you do a cheat meal. Will it ruin the progress in the long term? No. Should you do a cheat meal? No, but let's say you slip up. And the bad reaction when you slip up will be, oh my god, I cheated, I'm never gonna lose fat, life's over, I can never get in shape, I give up, blah blah. But let's be honest, even if you were super fucking bad, you did a bad thing, it'll ruin like 1 week of work max, which sucks. But like on the long term, like let's say you're on a fitness journey, it's just 1 week out of 52 weeks. That's not going to ruin your whole journey, right? Look at it like that. And let's say you lose money on a business or get rejected. Still, like, you can start over. When you get rejected by a girl, you can just ask out another girl, right? It's not the thing. It's like, oh, she was the love of my life. That you're being neurotic, man. There are literally 3.5 billion girls out there. And when we break it down, it's like, oh, she had the same music taste as me and played video games. It's like, motherfucker, go to your favorite artist's Spotify page. They have like 2 million listeners. Was she really the only girl? Oh, she played video games. Is she really the only girl that plays video games? Like, come on. It's like, you're being neurotic, honestly. I'm pretty sure you could fall in love with more than one girl, right? So it's not a big deal. The phrase, this happened and it is bad, is actually 2 impressions. The first, this happened is objective, but the second, it is bad, is subjective, right? So you must alter your perspective. Man does not simply exist, but always decides what his existence will be, what he will become the next moment. By the same token, every human being has the freedom to change at any instant. So I'm going to take a piss break and then we'll be back. By the power of editing, I'll be back right now. And we're back. Okay, so the power of perception, right? Alter your perspective. So I'm gonna tell you the story of Pericles' sea story, the Cape solar eclipse. So Pericles was like this ancient Greek army general and whatnot, and these 150 boat, ship fleet, war fleet, whatever, warring war boats. Yeah, well, I mean, right, they were going somewhere. I don't know where they were going, and the solar eclipse happened now. During the ancient times, obviously they didn't know what a solar eclipse was, so they were scared. So what a solar eclipse is when the moon kind of covers the sun, and then you just get it's all shadows everywhere. It gets dark, right? And then the Greek soldiers, they got scared. It's like, oh, what's happening? And then the Pericles was wearing a cape because he was cool like that. Fucking motherfuckers wearing a cape. He pulls the cape out. It's like, hey man, look, you scared of the cape? Right, it's not the shadow of the cape you're scared of. Like, no, then why are you scared of this fucking solar eclipse? And the soldiers were like, oh yeah, fair enough, man. No more scared. Let's keep on going. Let's fuck them Persians up or wherever the Greeks were going. Fuck them Germans up. Did Germans exist when Greeks existed? Probably not. By the way, like, my roots come from ancient Greece, so I'm pretty cool story. Alright, so don't explain fear. Don't ignore fear. Explain it away. Most likely, the things you fear aren't that bad. We can't change obstacles, but can change how we see it, because things aren't as big as you think it is. They're not as hot as you think it is. Let's say the ideal body. I always give like a body and goals example, but I don't know, because I'm assuming you're a young man. That's why I do it. It's just diet and exercise, bro. It's kind of simple as that, right? You eat less than you consume, and then you exercise, do weight training. It is that simple. That's how you get the ideal body. It kind of is that simple, right? And there's opportunities everywhere when you know how to look. Let's say you fear kind of talking to girls, right? It's like, oh, what if she rejects me? What's the worst that could happen? But let's explain. Okay, let's explain the worst thing. Okay, you go up to her and you fuck up. You're like, oh, can I say some shit like that? And the girls, they kind of laughs, like, she says no. Okay. And then maybe there are people around, so they look at you, and then they just turn away after like 5 seconds. Okay, is it that scary? Maybe let's say it's in like the gym. People look at you, and you know what they'll think? Oh, this guy actually doesn't fear talking to girls like I do. I wish I could talk to girls. That's what they'll think, right? Perception is everything, man. George Clooney's story. So George Clooney wants to get into acting and he gets rejected his first season in Hollywood. Motherfuckers are rejecting George Clooney. I mean, come on, right? And one day he realizes, wait, the producers are looking for an actor, right? They actually are looking for the right person for their movie. So he changes his mind. He's like, okay, I'm going to stop trying to be a desperate actor looking for a shot, and I'm going to actually decide, hey man, these people are looking for the actor for the movie. I'm going to be the guy that's going to play the part. Let me see how I can help them. He changes his mind, and then boom, he gets his movie roles, right? So it is kind of a change of perception that will just alter how you act, how you do things, how you go about your day. Let's say I'm making this YouTube video, right? I could think, oh, I hope this video gets views. Is this gonna get views? Oh, hopefully this video will go viral, right? This video probably is gonna have 20 views, right? But I'm thinking, I changed my mind. I'm like, hey, I'm saving lives here. I'm really helping out someone here. That is what I think. So therefore, my actions are greater than I am. My actions, I woke up at 4 a.m. today to make this fucking video. It's 7 a.m. right now. When I started, it was 5 a.m. Like, this shit wouldn't have happened if I didn't change my perception. So it is up to you. In life, our first job is this: to divide and distinguish things into two categories. Externals I cannot control, but the choices I make with them regard to them I do control. Where will I find good and bad in me and my choices? I don't know what the fuck that quote meant, right? So some things will be up to you. Stuff you can change. So if you can change it, do everything in your power to do so. And some things you just won't be able to change. For example, you can become a better athlete, but you cannot change the rules of the game. Let's say you're a basketball player. You're an NBA. The only thing you can do is become a better player in yourself and a better teammate, help your teammates, whatnot. But you cannot change the rules of the game. You just can't, right? Maybe you can like do some politics stuff, but like let's be honest, you cannot change the rules of the Olympics. Some things you just cannot change. You cannot change gravity, right? So no matter how hard you believe that you can fly, you sometimes can't, and you must you must accept these conditions, right? Some guys are like, oh, I'm too short, this and that. The thing is, like, you just have to accept it. You cannot change your height, right? Now I know there's like a surgery where people like they break your legs and stuff, but like, come on, I don't think that's the way to do it. Just accept you're short. Honestly, like, yeah, I'm short, okay, whatever, moving on. Okay, cool. Right? Just accept the things you can't change. You know, Helen Keller, she was deaf and blind. She accepted that. And she was like, okay, cool, I'm deaf and blind, but I'm still gonna write books or whatever, right? Just accept the some things you cannot change. Or, you know, you lose a fucking ear. It's like, oh, it's gone. It's never gonna come back. Just accept your flaws and just move on, man. And here are some businesses that start in economic crises, right? We got Fortune Magazine, FedEx, UPS, Walt Disney, Hewlett Packard, aka HP, the Rockefeller, Standard Oil. We got Microsoft, LinkedIn. The thing is, most of these businesses started in a recession, right? And people were like, "Oh, it's a recession. You can't do it. Economy shit." They're like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna do it anyway," because they just ignored the conditions and they just did them. They did what they were supposed to do, right? They were like, okay, it might be a recession, but I still want to build a business. Like Microsoft, everyone will need still fucking needs laptops and Windows in recessions. No bad how the fucking bad the economy gets. Everyone needs Microsoft, right? Then stop saying X. When X, then I'll do it, because then you'll never do it. And I do this sometimes too, but like you say, oh, when the economy gets better, I'm gonna invest, or I'm gonna do this. When I start making money, I'm gonna do this, do that. That time never comes, man. You must become the man today. And there's an ancient Chinese saying. It says that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So you can't be like, oh, bad things are happening, I can't change. Yes, you can. Most people will not change it. That's how we get ahead. You're like, oh, it's bad, I'll still do it anyway, right? This is another point. Think differently. Be delusional. Honestly, the people that achieve shit in life, everyone thought they were delusional. Everyone said to them that you can't do it, right? I've literally recently made a video about Arnold. I'll try to draw Arnold. It's like boom. It's like you know, that's not Arnold. Oh my god. But everyone thought Arnold was delusional. You know, he was in Austria. He wanted to go to America and was like, "Oh, you're crazy. I want to be a bodybuilding champion." "Oh, you're crazy." Boom, done it. And then he's a bodybuilder. He's like, "Oh, I want to get into acting." People are like, "Oh, you have an accent. You have a weird last name. You can't do it. Just play fucking bouncer extras in movies. You can't be a leading man." And people laughed at it. And you know what Arnold did? He just used it as fuel. He was like, "Oh, these people doubt me. I'm gonna prove them wrong." Because here's the thing, when you have haters, when you have doubters, right? When you don't accomplish the goal, you're proving them right. They are right. You must prove them wrong, right? People hate you, they don't believe in you. That's good. When you fucking accomplish it, they're gonna look like asses. Like they're just gonna look like dickheads. Be delusional, man. Think of yourself as great, because when you accomplish the goal, everyone else will be delusional. Everyone else will be the delusional person. The other thing is that you must find the opportunity in the bad things, right? Every bad thing can be an opportunity to get better. Let's say Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. Without Pepsi, Coca-Cola wouldn't be where it is today. Think about it. It's a like big rivalry, right? Because Coca-Cola had the rival. They had to up their game. They had to up their marketing, up their products, up their infrastructure, whatever, right? Because they were always in a competition with each other. If Coca-Cola slacked off, then Pepsi would have win. And Coca-Cola doesn't want to lose, right? So what Coca-Cola does or Pepsi does, they just compete, and, you know, throughout matching each other, they become better, they become perfection. If Coca-Cola didn't have any rivals, it wouldn't be the big company that it is today. For example, maybe you have a rival at work, maybe at at school or something, you have this rival. That's good. Try to beat him. He gives you a bit of fire, right? Or you get rejected, for example. That's just an opportunity for you to get better. That's just an opportunity for you to get better at being rejected, which is a highly valuable skill in life, right? Because when you want to start your business, when you want to do this, do that, you're gonna get rejected more than you're gonna get accepted, right? For example, this YouTube thumbnail, probably like 100 people saw it, only 2 people clicked on it. I got rejected 98 times. Doesn't matter, because the 2 people here are watching this video and enjoying this. This is helping them. I'm getting rejected left and right all the time. Being rejected is an amazing skill. People are like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel. I'm scared people will judge me. Yeah, they will. They will judge you. So, right? You get rejected, you're like, oh, they'll judge me, whatever, right? For example, you're doing some art or something, editing a video in Premiere Pro, you use a computer program, it crashes. Okay, well, you do it again, fair enough, time gets lost, but now you're quicker, now you do it better. Now you've done it once, you do it again, but faster and better, right? When people are rude or disrespectful, that means that they underestimate us. That's a huge advantage on our part, right? They're like, oh, whatever, kid. They're like, oh, you think, all right, you underestimate me. Cool, I'll use that to my advantage. Or people are conniving, right? You won't have to apologize, we'll make an example out of them. In like the movies, fucking kid movies are like, there's a bad guy, and when the bad guy fucking gets what's coming, or like when the bad guy gets hit in the nuts and he goes Foo! At the end of the movie, it's like, yeah, you fucking destroyed that man's testicles, fuck yeah. Be like, cool, man, even though you made a man infertile, the fucking kid in the movie, that's cool because that guy was an asshole, right? Or people are critical or question our abilities. Cool, man. Lower expectations, easier to exceed. People think you're lazy. Makes whatever you accomplish all the more admirable, right? For example, people thought Kurt Cobain was super lazy. Right? He wasn't. When you listen to the interviews, but like, because he was like, people thought of him as lazy. Everyone said, oh, he just has his gift, man. He touches a guitar, creates magic. He basically smokes weed all the time. I don't even know. He can't even play the guitar. Somehow he became a 90s icon. Yeah, like, he became a legend because people underestimated him. How crazy is that? Now, I have some opinions about Nirvana, but that's probably for another video. So, prepare to act. Problems are rarely as bad as we think, or rather, they're precisely as bad as we think they are. For example, you lose a limb, fucking, that's horrible, right? But is it? I mean, it is, but maybe if you don't think it's not, then like it's not, because when people lose a limb, they kind of are okay with it, right? You probably meet like an amputee or something. They're like, oh man, you're missing a hand. They're like, yeah, I don't know, I'm used to it, whatever, right? So people, it's not as bad as you think it is most of the time. Worst thing to happen is not the event, it's the event and losing your head. Like, imagine, I don't know, you fail the test and then fucking the teacher chops your head off, right? It could always get worse. Even if you lose your house and everything, it could be worse. You could have just lost your house and then someone would like chop your nuts off or something. Be bold, take action. Right? Because in action, we craft ourselves to perfection. When we take action, that's where shit happens in our lives. So I'm going to tell you the story of Demosthenes. He was, again, ancient Greece. So he was the son of a wealthy man, but his father died when he was 7 years old. And his father left him a big chunk of inheritance, some good amount of money, man. Like big money, okay? But his inheritance was stolen by the gods that were supposed to give it to him. But, you know, he's a fucking kid, so the gods just stole the money. And the money was supposed to go towards his education in life. But, you know, they didn't do any of that. They stole all his money. And this guy was just, Demosthenes as a kid was left with a speech impediment. He was effeminate, he was weak, and he was fatherless. And his life sucked, right? He was basically like an ancient day fucking fatherless incel, basically. And one day he was walking around Greece and he saw a great orator. So an orator is a man who gives speeches, right? And this really inspired him. I was like, wait, I'm weak. I might be weak, but I'm gonna be a great speech maker. So he got into public speaking. He really wanted to speak well. He wanted to get over his speech impediment. So he started doing speeches with marbles in his mouth. He started giving speeches when he was walking up mountains. He started giving speeches everywhere, man. He got so obsessed with his craft, the craft of giving a speech, that he decided to build himself an underground bunker and literally like went monk mode when before it was like called monk mode. He shaved half his ass so he would be too embarrassed to go outside and interact with people. He just stayed indoors and just practiced speaking all the time. Put hours every day into speaking, right? And when he emerged out of his bunker, he emerged as one of the greatest orators, speech givers in Greece, and he went to court. He, I guess, sued these men, and he wins the money back in court because his speech giving ability was so insane, so amazing, like out of this world. You wouldn't believe it, bro. Trust me. He wins the money back in court. But the thing was, these guys already spent the money, so he only gets back a percentage of the money back. Now, you might think that this is bad, right? But he became a powerful man because now he was the voice of the country. He was the best public speaker in the whole of ancient Greece, right? Yeah, he lost the money, but what he gained was perseverance. What he gained was the greatest voice in the whole country. And when you think about it, would you sacrifice a bit of inheritance for a skill that's gonna earn you even more than that inheritance, like make you one of the greats, right? He became opposite of who he was years ago, right? He was this weak, effeminate man with no goal in life, speech impediment, fucking dumbass retard. But on the other side, he emerged as this powerful man with the great voice to influence millions, move millions of people to action, change the tide of the country, change the action of people, change how they think, right? So he turned a weakness, right? He turned a bad thing that happened in his life with, by the power of extreme action on his part, he turned it into an upside, and he preached action, action, action. You must channel your rage and pain into training. Let's say you are dealt with a bad hand. That is a test of character, right? Because when you are given a bad hand, that means that gives you even more power to get out of your situation, right? We've all done it. We've said, I'm so overwhelmed, tired, stressed, busy, blocked, or outmatched. And then what do we do about it? A lot of what they do, we don't do this, right? But these people, what do? They go out and party. They treat ourselves. They sleep in or just wait. You know, it feels, a lot of people are fucking so stupid that like they ignore the problem. I can't, my brain doesn't comprehend. That's why like I don't talk to normal people, because when you bring up a trouble in their life, they're like, oh yeah, just ignore it. Just ignore it. They're fucking retards. They will literally get angry if you like point out a fucking thing they're ignoring in life. It's like, fuck you. Like, bro, that's, or women, or not bro, lady. It is a big problem in your life. Why ignore it, right? People just party, ignore it, just scroll on their phone, ignore their problems. And for them, it feels better to ignore or pretend, but they know deep down that this isn't going to make it truly any better. So you got to act, and you got to start now. You got to distance yourself from these retarded people. 99% of people, they just cope. They cope with their life. They have a problem, but they distract themselves from it rather than just attacking the problem. I don't understand why people do this. They're fucking idiots, but you and I, we're not like that, right? You and I, so take action, man. Extreme action, hard work will triumph talent, right? Any God-given talent, yeah, cool. It'll carry you for 2 3 years. Hard work beats it. In life, it doesn't matter where you come from. Your actions matter, right? Because here's the thing. Let's say some guys like middle class, his fucking father like fucking Americans, his father gets him a Wall Street job, whatever, or like a high paying job. And the guy just cruises, right? You come in, I'm poor, but I'm ready to work hard, work my bollocks off. I'm going to work 12 hours a fucking day. I'm going to be smarter than everyone else. Extreme action, extreme action, extreme action. And then you surpass the guy, you become CEO of the fucking company, that fucking middle class, rich white kid. Fucking, you now pay him, right? because yeah, he started out farther than you, right? But then you work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard. Ooh, past him, because yeah, his dad maybe boosted him this much, but he didn't work hard, and then you just stay there. You work hard, boom, right? And no one is ever gonna save you. No one's gonna like give you 10k pounds, or fucking no one's gonna send to your bank account 20k. Be like, hey man, here you go, you're saved. Or no one's gonna build your body for you. No one's gonna like find you anyone, right? Get the fucking work, put in action. Where's the? I've written something about David Goggins. Oh yeah, it's here. I'll talk about David Goggins later. Persistence. He says the best way out is always through, and I agree to that. Or insofar as I can see no way out but through. The only way out is through the fucking thing, right? Thomas Edison, we all know the light bulb story. He tried 1,000 times before he found the ligament that lit the light bulb. So I think Tesla was working with Edison, and Tesla was like, "Yo, this motherfucker Edison, if this I was about to drop the N-bomb for no reason. If this homie, I mean, I don't know why Tesla's talking like my impression of a black guy, but Tesla was like, hey man, if this homie Edison needed to find a needle in a haystack, man, he would go through every haystack for like hours, however long it takes. He would go through every hay piece. You get my point, right? Thomas Edison just had perseverance. Anyone could have found the ligament that lit the light bulb, right? And there were competing companies that were trying to find the light bulb. But they just gave up. Edison was like, fuck it, I'm going to try 1,000 times. I'm going to find the thing that lit the light bulb. Kept going. Fail. But he didn't see it as a failure. He just saw it as a report card saying, oh, this doesn't work, cool. I'll try something else. This doesn't work, cool. Boom. And it was, I think, a bamboo piece or something. And boom, light bulb lit. World as we know it has changed. Like, literally, without his perseverance, the world as we know it would not exist. Because the only way to lose is to give up. Let's say you're in a fitness journey. The only way you don't get the body is if you give up. It's literally that. And yeah, you might fail, you might do things wrong, but you just learn from your failures, man. So you must get through the slog. And usually the slog is the hardest part. The part where you work, get no results. You know what the future holds, but you just work hard and you're not seeing results. You must get through the slog. And persist and resist is a saying that we have. Iterate, right? Iterate, you fail. Because failure is a teacher, we talked about that. Water break. Follow the process. Focus on the process and not the end results, because the champions of life focus on the process and not the results. You must replace fear with process, right? So let's say you want to get in the best shape of your life. You can focus on the end results, right? You can think, oh, what am I shredded? Just keep checking your abs or keep checking your bellies. Like, oh, am I shredded? Yeah, oh, am I this? No. You shouldn't do that. Your mind should focus on, oh, did I eat my correct meals today? Did I get in my steps today? Did I progressively overload my workouts today? Did I do this? Because when you focus on the process, that's where you get the results. You're not going to get the results by focusing on the end goal. Let's say you want to grow a YouTube channel. I could check the analytics, right? And be like, am I growing? No. Or I could just be like, rather than thinking of that, I could occupy my mind with, okay, how can I make better videos? How can I help people better? And when I focus on the process, I will help more people. I will grow more. So you cannot focus on the end state result, because the winners of life, they don't focus on the end state result. They focus on the process. Like champion boxers, kickboxers, fighters, they don't focus on winning the fight. They focus on waking up early. They focus on their pad work. They focus on working out 3 times a week. They fall in love with the process. And when you stop, and when you have a fear of failure, right? When you focus on the process, when you check the process, do everything right, you no longer fear failure, because you know you're succeeding, right? Am I going to achieve this? The question should be, did I do the right things today? Because if the answer is yes, then you stop worrying, man. You see that's actually behind me. This is like my, these are days I didn't cheat on my meal and I ate every meal correctly. And it's been ticked 6 times. Today will be the 7th day. My goal is to do 21 days without no junk or cheat meals. So So I'm focused on the process rather than the end state result, right? So do your job right. Everything is a chance to be your best, and no job is below you. I used to work as a janitor, and to be honest, I was a shit janitor. I was a shit KP, but no job is below you. And when you do your best, that's when you level up in life. Let's say you are like an artist, right? You must do your best regardless of your pay, because let's say you're an artist, you're like fucking some famous artist. Some guy pays you like $1,000, some guy pays you $20, some guy pays you like 100K. Your work still must be the same quality because your name is attached to it, right? Imagine you're an artist and your signature is on like the bottom of the work, and then one work is good, the other is like great, and then the other is shit. Then like your value goes down, doesn't it? And that's the same thing with us in life. Like no job is below us. At anything you're doing, you must put your best foot forward. You must do your best, because when you do shit work, your value goes down. When we think of like rich people, they're like, oh, I can't wash the dishes. I'm too rich for that. And then when they do it, they suck. You respect them less, right? But when you see the like rich guy, the high level guy doing low level work and doing better than the fucking guy paid to do it, they're like, oh, that's why the guy's at top, because he does everything at his best. So what is right is what works, right? A lot of times people are idealistic and not realistic. I gotta take another piss break, but yeah, we'll be back in like, I'll be back literally. We're back. So what's right is what works. So stop being idealistic and be realistic. So a lot of people are idealistic, so they think this is how things should be. So this is what I'll do because this is how things should be, and then this is what I'll do. But oftentimes they just ignore reality. They're idealistic. They act idealistic. They don't face reality. They make up this la la land world in their heads, and then they act as if the world works that way. But what's right is just what works. So most of the time it's just not how it's gonna work, and stop being delusional, man. People are fucking, I don't even know. So let me tell you a story about Banana Land. So there were two American people competing to get a plot of land in Amazon forest or whatever, and this land was growing apples, right? And one company was a big company and the other was a small company, right? So the big company, oftentimes when people are big and strong, that will be their downfall. So the big company had a lot of money and they had a lot of lawyers and stuff, right? So they were like, oh, we'll just send the lawyers. So the land, the bad thing about the land was two people claimed to be the owner of the land, and this is like fucking Amazon forest. I think Amazon is in Brazil. I'm not sure. But basically a lot people, two owners, so they were confused. I don't know which land to buy from. Just so the big company was like, all right, we'll send down lawyers, check every paperwork, do whatever you must do, just check everything, blah 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 blah. Spend a lot of time, spend a lot of money, and yeah, that's what they did, right? But then the small company was like smarter. It was more mobile, it was more practical. So what did the small company do? The guy just went down, bought the land from the two people, boom. It's like, oh, you're a big company, fuck you, just did that. Ah, it worked. Or this company again, for example, there was some politics with bridge laws, so bridges were not allowed to be built. So I'll just draw this. So basically what they did was this is water, right? They built like two docks like this, and then when they needed, they just like connected them together with like some wooden planks or whatnot. And then that's like how they transported bananas or apples in between streams. So they just did what was practical. And oftentimes you have to be practical, you have to do what works, and you can't be idealistic. Flank. So sometimes in life, some obstacles, you can't go right through them. You must come to the other side. Like in I don't really do wrestling or jiu-jitsu, but let's say someone was right on you, right? Your first reaction would just try to push them, try to like bench press them off you, but this will never work, right? If someone was on you, like on your neck, if you just try to push them, you can't lift them. It's just their body weight will out like just fucking just pin you to the ground. And how we get out of like a chokehold or something like that is actually we just take the guy's elbow, break it up a bit, maybe you turn to your side and stuff. You don't go through the thing, just push it away. Sometimes you need to be a bit more clever. Sometimes you need to do something that is not like that's not way too obvious. Now if you do combat sports, maybe it's obvious, but like the human instinct, for example, when you want to fight kickboxing, right, they will actually teach you to outtrain your natural instincts, because when you want to throw a punch like a normal, you go do something retarded like this, but that just telegraphs your opponent you're going to throw a punch, right? So when you want to get into kickboxing or boxing, you train your natural instincts out of you, because when you throw a punch is actually you can't telegraph it. So maybe instead of doing something like this, just more like, boom, instant, right? Like, oh, right. And the other thing is use obstacles against themselves. So instead of fighting obstacles, sometimes you must find means of making your obstacle defeat themselves. So Russia was fighting against Germans, and they could have just fought the Germans, right? But Russia is a cold, fucking miserable country, right? Russia is cold, it's harsh. And instead of fighting the Germans, they're like, you know what, we'll just retreat back into Russia and let the cold take care of the Germans. And fucking Germans froze to death. They couldn't deal with the cold for a long time, so they just let the Germans defeat themselves, right? And sometimes you must make people defeat themselves. Let's say, I grow a YouTube channel, and like this channel gets a couple thousand subs, and people start making videos on me. Maybe they start hating me and whatnot. Now, I could literally just make a response video to them, start beef, or I could just keep doing what I keep doing. Now these haters will stay in their mom's basement. They'll stay losers, weak people, but I'll just keep going. And yeah, they made hate videos about me, but I'll just be more successful than they were. My mom used to say this to me. He said, the best revenge is being successful. So let them yap their mouth. Let them build their channel on talking shit on me, because like I'm building my channel and helping people, and they're building their channel on like YouTube drama. Who wins at the end? Who's gonna change lives? Who's gonna have more fans? Who's gonna have more people following them in the end, right? Channel your energy. People with bad lives will be more successful because they got more grit and pain and anger and energy inside them. So let's say there are two ways we learn stuff, right? When you put your hand on fire, boom. If it's too hot, you instantly take your hand away. And the thing is, there is the push away from pain and there's the pull towards pleasure, right? The push away from pain will always be more powerful than to go to pleasure, because that's survival, that's natural instincts, right? I mean, if let's say if you had an option, if a lion was attacking you, and you could just ignore a lion and have sex or eat a burger or something, you'd obviously choose to run away from the lion, right? So for example, David Goggins, he was super successful because his early life was fucking miserable. Like if you read his story, you know about how people were racist towards him. He failed, he got fat, he failed military training like 4 times, 3 times, and this was his last chance, and he had to lose like 300 pounds. He failed in life so many times. He knew how miserable his life was. He was working a job he hated himself. He buried himself under all that fat. He hated, like, he didn't even want to stare at his face. Like, he knew how bad his previous life was. So his only way out was joining the buds training, the military training and whatnot. So he knew the pain. So of course he's gonna fucking achieve all that shit, because he knew how painful, just how bad the bad side was. So he used all that pain and fear and anger to drive him towards greatness. And that is your opportunity. That's how you become great. If you have great pain inside you right now, imagine if you channeled it into being great. Imagine if you channel it into your work. Like when you work out, if you're in pain, if you're angry, you will lift more weights. Right? The fucking middle class, oh, I'll just go to the gym, fucking on the treadmill, check my phone. No. The guy that makes gains is a fucking angry motherfucker comes in, alright, I just got broken up and I'm gonna have the best body of all time. I mean, I don't really promote anger, but like that guy will make more gains than like chill guy that comes in is like, oh, I'm just gonna be on my phone, do leg extension, right? Take the opportunity. Don't wait for opportunity to knock on your door. Just knock the fucking door down. Oftentimes, people just expect opportunity to come to them, but it never happens. People expect, oh, I'm gonna get discovered at the mall and become a supermodel. Oh, I'm gonna fucking. It just never happens. It just never happens, man. You must understand the things in life that you want. Everyone else wants them, right? You probably want money. You want power. You want respect. You want to have a nice girlfriend or wife. You want girls. The thing is, these things don't come to you. Like, you must take them, right? As like, if you want money, you must take it, right? Money just doesn't magically come to you. You must fucking work your ass off. You must seize every fucking opportunity. Let's say you want to be a movie star. Go to 100 fucking auditions, do your fucking best. But before the auditions, take the opportunity, go to fucking acting classes, do this, do that. Extreme action, man. You take the opportunity. If you want to be like a movie star, you cannot hope to get discovered at the mall. You must fucking put in extreme action, right? That's what Arnold did. Extreme fucking action. That's how it works. And prepare for none of it to work, because sometimes you will fail, and that's okay. Sometimes you'll try things, do everything in your power. That's okay. The thing is like when entrepreneurs, on average, successful entrepreneurs, 7 of their businesses fail. It takes 7 businesses to get one successful one, right? All the great big entrepreneurs you look up to, all the rich people, all their businesses failed, right? In gym, how do we grow? We grow by failing, right? We could not grow without failure, right? If you want to build muscle, you must fail. You must go to muscular failure over and over and over and over again, because in failure, that's how we improve. In failure, that's how we learn. In failure, that's how we get better. So when you have plans and you fail, that's okay. See it as something beautiful, because that's progress. That's life giving you lessons. That's exactly what you learn from. That's exactly how we get better, right? Business, you failed billions of times before succeeding. Will always prepare ourselves for more difficult times. Always accept what we're unable to change. Always manage our expectations. Always persevere. Always learn to love our fate and what happens to us. Always protect our inner self. Retreat into ourselves. Always submit to a greater larger cause. Always remind ourselves of our own mortality. And of course, prepare to start the cycle once more. So build your inner citadel. Sound mind and strong body. You must have them both. So Theodore Roosevelt was a weak kid. He had asthma. His body didn't work. He was fragile as like glass as a kid. And one day his dad got him like awake. He was like, "Hey man, you must strengthen your body. Here are the tools to strengthen your body," right? And he was like a rich posh kid, I think, something like that. But he was super weak, man, right? Effeminate. And through lifting weights, he trained his mind and his body, and he become fucking stronger. And oftentimes we take weakness for granted. We just say, "Oh, I'm just weak. I'm not strong." But it doesn't have to be this way. The strong people in life, they all started out as weak. We all start out as weak fucking babies. It's not like fucking babies grow into strong men. You must put in the work to become stronger. Do you understand this? You say, "I am weak." Yeah, but weakness is not you. Weakness is just it's like a state of being that you can change, right? Your mind is your armor. Like Theodore Roosevelt was like a weak fucking kid. Look at his face. He looks like fucking Khabib. He's an American that looks like fucking Khabib from Dagestan. How fucking tough does this motherfucker look? He legit looks like he could eat Khabib alive. And Khabib is like from fucking Dagestan mountains, rest the guy. Like, fucking what? You got Khabib, what's the other Dagestan guy? Fucking Khamzat Nurmagomedov, whatever the fuck, right? Look at his fucking face. Look at how strong he looks, but he built this strength. And if we look at his body, it doesn't even look like insane bodybuild levels, right? But he looks strong. And weakness, right? We destroy weakness by pain. Pain is weakness leaving the body. We become stronger as we work on ourselves. So don't take weakness for granted. You might be weak right now. That's okay. Everyone was weak. You build your strength through time and reps, right? When in the gym, it takes reps and failure to become stronger. The same with your mind. Anticipate for the worst. Brace for impact. You ask what if, then I will. What if? Instead I'll just what if. No problem. We can always, right? Bad things will happen. So meditate on the bad things that could happen and then prepare for them. Um, yeah, just anticipate what's gonna happen, the bad things that could happen, and just prepare for them, man. So art of acquiescence. So the reluctant acceptance of something without protest. Sometimes you'll have flaws. Something's bad. Sometimes bad things will happen. Just accept them, man. Turn them into advantages. For example, Arnold Schwarzenegger wants to get into the movie business. People said, "Oh, you couldn't." They just offered him movie extra roles as like Nazi officers or like bouncers. Like, no, I want to be a star. They said you couldn't do it because you have an accent and a surname. He accepted it. Fuck you, I'm still gonna be it. And now his accent is iconic. Now his surname is iconic. So his flaws turn into his greatest assets. They said you're too big for Hollywood. Now he is an icon just because of these things, right? Love everything that happens, right? Amor fati. I don't know what amor fati means. It sounds like I love fat people or something. um, like it's supposed to be that way, man. Life is a long game. For example, Edison's lab burnt down. Like his whole fucking lab burnt down, man. Imagine Thomas Edison, his whole lab burnt down in America, and the loss was 23 million if we adjusted it to today's prices. He lost 23 million worth of lab equipment, um, fucking like research stuff, chemicals, all that stuff. It all burnt down, man, and he wasn't insured for it properly, so only got a fraction of it. But it was like, but when the lab was burning down, he just accepted it, and he just took his kids. They're like, "Hey kids, you're never gonna see a fire this big. Hey, look at the fire," right? He just accepted it, and within 2 weeks, the factory was built. They built the factory back up. People started doing double shifts, and the same year, he made more than 200 million. Yeah, he had a greater loss, but he just kept going, man. It was like, oh, sometimes you'll lose some things, right? Don't take anything for granted. Everything you have can be and will be taken away from you. Nothing will ever stay away. You might have a nice car, you might have a nice house, you might have a nice spouse. They will all be taken away from you. And will, so accept that. And Edison knew that because he tried 1,000 times with a light bulb. He had a great loss in his life, so he was used to it, right? So perseverance, man. So in ancient Greek literature, there's the story of Odysseus. Basically, the guy was fighting in Troy, and it took him 10 years to go back home to his wife and his kids. And throughout coming back, he had to go to different lands. He had to fight Cyclops, fucking Medusa, the sirens and whatnot. He had to persevere for 10 years just to get back home to his wife from Troy. He was trapped, and he just was strong. He just kept going, kept going, kept going. But in the end, he came back to his homeland and his wife and kids. So you must persist and persevere. The question of life, how you win in life, is how many times can you back up? How long can you keep going? Because your business will fail. The entrepreneur that succeeds, the bodybuilder that succeeds, the guy that like gets the rewards in life isn't the strongest, isn't the luckiest, isn't the one with the genetics. It's the one that doesn't give up. I promise to you, if you don't give up, beautiful things will happen. You will have everything that you want in life if you don't fucking give up. All you have to do is keep going, because when you don't give up, you keep trusting yourself, and with the exercise of self-trust, new powers shall appear to you. The other principle is to be... Oh my god. Sorry, my dad just woke up and the fucking coffee machine is beeping. It's distracting me. Alright, you turn it off. Anyway, work for something bigger than yourself. So there's selfish strength and the strength for the greater good, right? So if you're just selfish, if you just work for yourself, you won't have as much power in you. If you just go to the gym, I was like, oh, I want to get in good shape, I want to get girls. That's not enough power to keep you going for 5 years, right? That just doesn't work. But if you're like, oh, I love exercising, for example, me, I go to the gym because I love going to the gym and I want to go to the gym forever, right? But the other thing is, because I used to be fat and I used to be skinny fat, I had a terrible body. I keep going to the gym to show other people, to give motivation to other people. I do it because I can help you. I can show you that it can be done. Yes, it is hard, but it can be done. And the thing is, you must be a good person no matter how bad it is. You must pick up the trash, you pet the cat, you say good morning to people, no matter like how bad the times are. And there's a saying by Henry Rollins that is beautiful. I put this in here. People are getting a little desperate. People might not show their best elements to you. You must never lower yourself to being a person you don't like. There is no better time than now to have a moral and civic backbone, to have a moral and civic true north. This is a tremendous opportunity for you, a young person, to be heroic. Because let's be honest, man, the times are bad. Sometimes people just don't even say hi to you. People just faces are angry. You know, there's inflation. People are broke. People might act bad towards you, but you must not lower yourself down to their level. You must not never be a bad person. You must always be a hero. You must be the uplifting person in your community. You must be the one person that breaks the family curse of poverty and whatnot. You must be that one person that changes the game for everyone around us. You must be the one different person. Because what doesn't help anyone is making this all about you all the time. Why did this happen to me? What am I going to do about this? You'll be shocked by how much of the hopelessness lifts when we reach that conclusion. Because now we have something to do. Like Stockdale, we have a mission in the light of blinding futility. We got marching oil orders and things must be done. You know, not everything is about you, man. Just stop taking everything so personally. So I'm like, oh, I got rejected. Why is this happening? It's like, maybe it's not because the company, the job giver hates you. It's because maybe they found a better person. Maybe they're fucking assholes. Maybe it's like, it's not personal. Right? 500 people apply to a job. Right? It might be just statistics. So meditate on your mortality. You will die. Focus on your legacy. Right? You will die. This is 100%. So focus on how you want to be remembered after you die. What you want your eulogy to be. Because when people die, right, they gather around in a funeral. They talk about the character of the person, what they did, how they helped the other people. They don't talk about the fucking supercars he had or how much money they made or the trophy Viper and whatnot. They talk about their character, their integrity, how they impacted other people's lives, right? Their legacy. They don't talk about this materialistic shit that everyone puts on a fucking pedestal, right? And when you have near-death experiences, your life changes. You want to live better. I've had some near-death experiences. Like, I talked about how, like, Thailand Mafia tried to kill me. A car hit me once. I flipped over. The windshield was gone. And you look at life differently after that, man. You start to think about, oh, what do I want to leave behind when I die? And you cannot just... Folks, you're going to die, man. So focus on what you're going to be... How you're going to be remembered after you die. So... The other thing, prepare to start again, because starting over is beautiful. As a Haitian proverb puts it, behind mountains are more mountains. Elysium is a myth. So what Elysium is, like a utopia, the perfect place when everything is perfect, doesn't exist. One does not overcome an obstacle to enter a land of no obstacles. On the contrary, the more you accomplish, the more things will stand in your way. There are always more obstacles, bigger challenges. You are always fighting uphill. So get used to it and train accordingly. You know, sometimes you'll have to start over multiple times in life. You know, maybe you go on a fat loss journey, you kind of gain the fat back. You must be willing to start over again, because the obstacle is still there. Or you start a business, you fail. You must be willing to start again. Like in life, you'll start over. Maybe, you know, you date a girl, you break up. You must be willing to go, like, start dating again, right? You must always start over, because it never gets easy. You'll just get stronger and you'll be more experienced. And as Bruce Lee said, do not pray for an easy life, but pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. So the obstacle is the way. So that's the book. That's the summary of the book. These were the principles of Stoicism. You must understand that the challenges you're facing right now, no matter how bad it is, no matter how hopeless it seems, that is exactly the way that life is showing you. That's exactly what you should do. Like, let's say you're in traffic and you see green lights, red lights. You don't get angry at it. It's not personal, right? And life is just like that. Life is just giving you a red light right now and tell, hey man, turn this motherfucking light green. And that's exactly what you should do. So the challenges you face in life are the best opportunity for you to become a stronger person. And I'll end the video by repeating this Bruce Lee quote: do not pray for an easy life, pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Because if you're facing challenges, if you're facing problems right now, it's because a higher power wants you to become stronger. A higher power has chosen you to be a great fucking man. So you're lucky, man, because once you overcome the obstacle, once you get through this, you're gonna be way stronger. And yeah, that's it. I make videos every week. Links below if you want to give me money. What else? Yeah, subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. And yeah, man, click the bell. It's kind of cringe, like doing all this book review and then doing the standard YouTuber shit. But yeah, that's it. All right, see you.